Hi, you guys. This is Jenny from Seasons Change, and I am a mom and a wife and a recently retired teacher. And here we talk about Generation X and baby boomers, also known as in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. The greatest generation for me. Anyways, we talk about social aspects to retirement and aging, loss, savings, making money in retirement, adult children, making their decisions we might not want. We talk about grief, loss, and so on. And please stay to the end, because if you know my channel at all, you know that at the very end I do show you a couple of my pottery creations that I made, and I don't sell them for a lot. I'm not into making much. I just sell them for what it costs me to ship, and then maybe a few more that I put back into clay. So I recently set out on a quest to find out if stress is more prevalent in aging persons such as myself, or if it is not, and if it has more dangerous effects on the body. And I unfortunately found out that yes, stress gets worse as we get older. And yes, as we get older, stress does get worse mentally and physically for a few reasons. So I will mention those quickly, and then I will talk about what we can do to keep it maybe more at bay, our stress, and have less complications from the stress that we deal with. So stress is harder to regulate. The cortisol that is released in our system and adrenaline is harder to metabolize, and it is hard. Our bodies find it harder to deal with as we age. That is one. Also, another thing is the body finds it harder to recover from really stressful events. And personally, I've had some very stressful events in my life, and I find that I could be exhausted for over a week or longer just from one chaotic event that happens. Plus, our lung and heart capacity isn't as great as we get older. Even if we exercise does help quite a bit for that, but our lung capacity is a little bit less as we age. So that means it's harder for us to take in as much oxygen and breathe deep. That's why I feel sometimes when I am exercising that I'm gasping sometimes. So also we have more sleep disturbances, and it is when we don't sleep, there are also chemicals that are released in our body and that are pretty harmful for us as well. And so there are several things, I'll go over a few, that stress can cause as we age, and we can have more digestive problems and bowel problems and headaches, migraines, sleep disturbances. Social withdrawal is one that I have found that's really prevalent in a lot of people my age that I talk to, that they just want to, the more stress they have, they just want to get away from people, life in general, and they become more closed up, which invariably is more dangerous for us not to interact with others as we age. And so what I want to talk about next is what causes age stress. And so I did a lot of research. I asked a lot of people in my groups that I'm in and so on. I've taken a lot of notes. This is the top several things that people said that they find most stressful as they age. So one is chronic pain and health. They worry more about their health and chronic pain than ever before, falls, etc. And rightfully so. I worry about the same things. Also, they worry about money and how they're going to live off of a certain specific amount for the rest of their lives. and that stresses them out a lot. The third one, it came in third, was a loss and grief. And most of us know that as we age, we lose people that are not living as full of lives as they could have lived, debauchery, drinking, drugs, and we all know people like that have lost their life sooner than maybe they would have otherwise. But we have friends and family members that have went way too soon, and it is just grief laden. It is, and initially it is so difficult to deal with, but instead of putting it like here in this perspective, it's really intense. Eventually, after sometimes even a year or so, you can just kind of put it next to you, but I don't really believe it ever leaves us. I think our losses are just a part of our heart, and it never really is completely gone. It's just always there, but a little less as time goes on. So also what came in as stressors, this is the next one, is adult children that are grown, that are living lives and making decisions that we don't agree with. It causes a lot of heartache. There's no control that we have over that. So that does cause stress. The next one that came in from a lot of research and the research I've done is COVID. People are really still worried about COVID, and as they age, even more so, because we know there's different variants coming out every season, and the medical profession can't possibly keep up on the vaccine. So our health in general, but still some of these viruses that are coming out are pretty stressful, especially when we start traveling again. So also what causes a lot of stress is people worry about their diet, because we know that salt and sugar and processed foods cause havoc in our bodies, which cause more stress. And so we worry about what we eat, why we eat what we do. And a lot of us have to fight that constantly. Another stressor. And the last one on my list, but definitely not least, is isolation. I've noticed a lot of people that I've talked to, and a lot of the research shows that there's a lot of people that are in our generation of aging Americans that are either estranged from their family, or they are single, or their spouse has already passed. And isolation causes a lot of stress because they don't know if they need help, who they're going to get help from, and so on. So here are a few things that we can do to keep stress at bay. And one is to pace yourself. I know that for myself and for many I've talked to, that pacing is extremely important. We went maybe 100 miles an hour when we were younger, but our bodies do change no matter how much we take care of them. And pacing ourselves is very important. Like maybe do a couple of hours of things in the morning and then take a little break. Take some, relax, have some tea, coffee, put your legs up, watch the news, do something where you're pacing yourself. You're slowing down and stopping every couple hours or several hours during the day before you get to the point where, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. It is really important to start thinking about pacing. And I get it. It is really hard. That is really difficult for me. That's really difficult for me to even accept and acknowledge that I need to pace a little more and slow down a little more, and that I can't go 1,000 miles an hour from the second I get up until midnight. It's just not going to happen without me becoming very exhausted, overwhelmed, and so on. So that's one to really watch out for. Two, is get yourself into a different setting. Even if you take a little walk or a little drive 10 minutes to a pretty nearby park or nature or a little stream or something, or another city if you can. But a lot of studies are now showing that if we put ourselves in different settings, I mean, even if you go to a store you haven't went to or a little coffee house you haven't went to, but a different setting is really good for the brain and the soul. And 3, I have change routine. Change your routine a little bit. Instead of doing the same thing every time, the same the same days, the same times, the same things. Change up your routine. If you go to bed late and get up late, try going to bed early and getting up early and doing things in the cool hours of the morning. And just change up your routine a little bit, and you'll see that gives you a little bit more of a spark. And the next one I would say for reward yourself. Oh, that was hard to say. Reward yourself. Okay. I know that reward is different for different people, and it is completely different. When I taught 4th grade, which I always ended up teaching 4th grade, those kids would be like, the first year I taught, I remember thinking, oh, here's a reward. I have some prizes, but not all of them were too excited about that. And so I had to find out what their definition of reward was. All of it's different for us. A definition of reward for some might be an ice cream with, the teacher at lunch or something, and others would be completely different. So think about what is a reward for you. I know for me, going out for some froyo or buying myself a little something, that is a reward for me. Or forcing myself on my daughter to go over her. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. But visiting, somebody. But, a reward for yourself every few days, something to look forward to. And also pray and meditate. It's a good thing for your soul, spirit, and stress. Calms us way down. So another thing, that was 5, the pray and meditation. So I'm going to, since I'm, numbering these, I want to continue. So 6 is social, have social time out. Even if you're on the phone or a Zoom meeting, if you can't get out because of health or other issues, socialize. There's a lot of things online on Zoom, there's groups and so on. And also it's okay to have 7. It's okay to have a security blanket, literally, a security object. I have a security blanket still at my age that I put on my couch, and I love the colors of it. I love the feel of it. I love how it makes me feel, and the pillow that goes with it. And so sometimes I'll just curl up with that, and it does make me feel a little bit less stressed. So I hope some of these things help you. Please leave things in the comments you do to de-stress, take care of yourself. Appreciate that, so we can all see them and read them and share. I appreciate it. And so if you know me, know my channel, I am going to show you a couple of things that I made and in pottery. And this is one of them. I've had people say they really like this splashed glaze. Some people say it's creepy, so it depends on you and your likes, but I use these bowls sometimes for little cheese and crackers, things like that. Something fun. And I have bigger bowls too. So some things like this, I keep it like white and clean inside, and then maybe a celestial glaze on the outside. So just things like that I have. I put on my little Etsy store. So I think that is it, and I will continue to do research, continue reading, continue talking to groups of people, and I find this very interesting, all of the issues that are relevant to us in our time right now as we age, and I will keep you posted. current subjects that a lot of people are thinking about. So I appreciate you joining me, and please subscribe. I always find that so great. Thank you. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.